Y'all, I've been sick. Like stuffy nose, I sound like a congested chipmunk and still recording anyway. And you know how Dominicans are with medicines. The names always sound like spells or kitchen experiments. Like I'm over here taking sacagripe. Like take the flu out medicine. Let's be serious. Honestly, I just blame this weather change. One day it's 75 degrees and sunny. I'm out here living, my fall girl dreams in a crew neck. And next day, surprise, 45 degrees and the wind that slaps. My sinuses didn't even stand a chance. Chicago really gave me a gift this time, and it came wrapped in cold air and germs.
This is Mon, still showing up.
Hosted by Dennis.
So maybe right now you're driving to work, tired, under the weather, or just over it. Maybe traffic's already cutting you off and you're thinking, Lord, not today. But before you walk into that office, that class, or that meeting, I want you to take a breath with me. Just breathe. Now, I want you to choose kindness on purpose today, which is our theme. Because the truth is, we forget how powerful we are when we're just humans. Hold the door for somebody, smile at the cashier, even if your coffee order is wrong. Compliment the mom who looks exhausted in line. That's great. None of that costs you anything, but the energy behind that, it shifts the whole atmosphere. I still showed up for Chicago, but before I even get into that story, I want to share a few Mon stories from you because you guys really showed up this week. So where is my telefono? So the first Mon story is from our very own Paloma, which you guys will see her very soon. But yesterday was Columbus Day, and she got dressed, made her coffee, did the whole morning routine. The energy was high. She was walking to her car feeling productive, and then she realized she was off and that it was a holiday. I mean, she really got ready for nothing, but honestly, that is a Mon moment because even when you didn't have to show up, you still did, Paloma. So good for you because I probably would have been fighting for my life, but I still worked yesterday, so at least you showed up. And the next Mon story is pretty, quiet, but sometimes we need these moments as well. So this person, her name was Lauren. She said, I didn't post, I didn't tell anyone, but I got out of bed early, prayed, stretched, and made breakfast instead of scrolling. And that was her win for the day. And honestly, sometimes you just need those quiet moments between you and yourself right before you start the day. And that's still an act of self love and showing up for yourself. Um, and Mon moments can be anything. They don't always have to be chaotic. So I really, really like that one. And I really do appreciate that. But you know what? You still showed up. So thank you for that. So don't forget to share your Mon stories. Let's talk about how Chicago almost took me out. And as I mentioned, I still showed up for Chicago. I woke up at 3 a.m. to catch my flight because one thing about me, I hate traveling without my bed. Like if I can literally carry my bed through TSA and my pillow everywhere, I'd be better off. So instead of leaving on a Monday, I left on a Tuesday. So once I landed in Chicago, it was cold, windy, and rainy. The kind of disrespectful weather that feels personal. And as soon as that wind hit me, I said, ay, la gripe, and look at me sick. Didn't know yet, but that Chicago breeze was the start of my downfall. Now, Chicago and I have history because the last time I came here, whew, legendary. Literally, Rena and Vicky, y'all can remember, these Ubers are ruthless. We got in that Uber thinking we were just going to dinner, but no, our driver was literally fighting traffic and his family drama at the same time. He was on the freeway yelling at his son, getting out, trying to beat the traffic and then merge back in, and he kept doing that. And all that we heard was, por eso que tú no te puedes meter con esa muchacha. But literally, it was so chaotic. And then he starts blasting his own mixtape, full volume. Like, sir, he really thought he was Bad Bunny at Coachella. That was pretty funny. I still have nightmares about that Uber drive. But, Rena could vouch for me. Chicago Ubers, they're very different. And literally, we were in the back holding our hands, praying for our future. But that's why I call that Chicago trip the best, worst trip ever. But, this time I was like, new year, new Chicago. But Chicago said no. One, I got into the Uber from my airport. My driver had elevator music, was literally blasting the whole time. And he was like jamming out like he was performing at a lobby at Marriott. And I was like, okay, this is how we're going to get started. But here's the thing, you're stuck in Chicago traffic for like an hour. So it was a whole hour of just listening to like elevator music. At one point, I almost told the Uber driver, can I get the aux cord? Because we not doing this. I was already falling asleep. And I think that's when I texted you that I was falling asleep.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
When did you text me?
You mean you text me?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It was probably at that time where I was falling asleep.
You said you texted at 4:40 a.m. I knocked out on the way to the airport.
I did that too.
You see?
I was tired.
I get it. I would have been tired too.
I was tired. But also when I landed, this is an important note. I called my hotel and I was like, hey, I just landed, any chance I can check in early? And they said, no, your room's not ready because it was like 8 in the morning, which, fine, of course not. So I dragged myself tired straight to work to do what I gotta do. And then finally, when I was done, it was like around 7 p.m. Back to the hotel. I'm starving, craving deep dish pizza, and I ordered from DoorDash, and they said an hour and 30 minutes wait just for my food. Like, that's very disrespectful. Like, if I'm door dashing food, I expect it there within 30 minutes. But okay, I'm still pushing through it. I'm still showing up, from the elevator music, long day at work. I'm like, okay, cool. It gives me time to inspect my room because my inner clean freak does not play. And y'all, it was dirty. Like somebody was already living there dirty. Those sheets wasn't like, I'll probably insert a picture of what was on the sheets. I didn't know what was on the sheets. And this is why you're supposed to inspect everything because it was right under like the comforter. Like it was disgusting. Anyways, so I call, the front lobby downstairs and I'm like, hey, like there's something on my sheets. Is there any way that um you guys can come and change it? And tell me how he goes, oh, our houseman, they can't change the sheets, but we can bring you the sheets. Like, they really got me over here working for free at the hotel. Like, we'll bring it to you. You could do our job. But okay, I was like, that's fine. That's fine. So there I am, half asleep, tucking sheets with a hanger because I wasn't going to tuck the sheets with my hands. And I'm like, am I on Hotel Hell Dominican Edition? Just me and my stubbornness trying to make it through the night. I'm going to also insert a picture because first of all, I tucked in the bottom sheets, but then they gave me like 3 other sheets. I just threw it on top. Threw it on top the pillow like a whole fort. And that night I slept like this. I did not move. I slept like and for you guys listening, I was literally laying down like I was dead, like a mummy in a coffin. The whole time I had my lights on. I was like, am I going to get kidnapped in Chicago? Obviously, guys, I'm overreacting. Like my job's never gonna put me in a bad hotel. But there's those mistakes that do happen to us that's out of our control, like dirty ass sheets. And I'm gonna insert that picture. So if you guys are listening, go to YouTube so you guys can see that picture. I'm like, okay, let me go get my pizza. You know, it finally arrived. It was an hour and 30 minutes later. That was burnt, like not crispy, burnt. And at that point, I'm like, you know what, God, I see you. You're trying to humble me before the come up. Like I get it. I've been through enough. Woke up at 3 in the morning, got to the airport, long work day till 7. Then I get to my room. I want to relax. It's dirty, the pizza. But you know what? I still showed up. I still showed up. I pushed through it and I still showed up. Then the next day, I literally see this college girl climbing a building and it was cold. And I asked the girl, like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? Like, do you need help? And she goes, you can't put a round pig in a square hole. She said that to me. You can't put a square pig in a round hole.
That's why you should mind your business.
Yeah, this is why you should mind your business, guys, okay? And honestly, this is what I get because Amir always told me, do not look at people, do not be nosy. And I've learned this from you, Mercedes, as well. Mind your business.
Still not minding your business.
I didn't mind my business. Guys, comment what does that mean? You can't put a round. I think that's an analogy of like, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. But like, what did that even have to do with that situation?
She was probably trying to tell you that walking through a door is for simple-minded people.
Yeah, she was probably a motivational speaker or something. I just wanted coffee, not therapy at this point. After the trip, you know, it was a great trip. I finally, you know, it's time to go. And that's where I meet my favorite Uber driver. And I'm gonna tell you why he's my favorite. He was Colombian, and that accent, pues, you know that pues, que chimba. I felt like I was literally in a Romeo music video. Y solo por un beso.
If you don't get a grip.
But then he started telling me his whole life story. I'm like, yeah, just talk to me, pues, pues, pues.
Yo.
I recorded him, but I want to keep it for Mon 2.0 because we're definitely going to debrief that one. Se ve linda. Sí, you heard that? La puse bien linda y se me fue. Anyways, so that's more of Mon 2.0. But I actually felt bad because he started telling me his whole life story. He's been hustling since he was 10, you know, selling books, clothes, opening stores, buying properties. Like he was a hustler. And in my head, I'm like, what are you doing in Chicago? But he had everything, you know, family, house, business. And then he said, I even paid the best doctor so my wife could get her body done for me. And then I'm like, oh no, no, nah, no. This is a setup. He said she left me. Divorce split everything. And he's mentioned that they've been together for 25 years. And once, you know, they made it together after working so hard. After she got her body done, she got a car and she left him for his assistant. And it was happening for 2 years. But again, that's going to be more for Mon 2.0 because we definitely need to hear Mercedes and Isa's opinion because y'all know they're very opinionated. Right, Mercedes?
Bro, I'm biting my tongue right now. I got so many questions.
But before I got out, he thanked me for listening to him. And he said that most people he picks up don't speak Spanish and that he just needed somebody to talk to. And honestly, he cried. I mean, we cried. And, you know, that's when it really hit me because sometimes people don't need advice, they just need someone to listen. And I know there's two sides to every story, but wow, what a reminder that everybody's fighting something we can't see. And it made me think how many people walk around carrying stories like that, just waiting for somebody to listen. Maybe that's why God put certain people in our path, not for us to fix them, but to hear them. Because the truth is, people don't really listen anymore. Most of us just hear enough to reply, but not enough to understand. I read once that the average person only listens to about 25% of what somebody has to say. 25%. That means that most of the time, we're not even in the conversation. We're just waiting for our own turn to talk. And I've been guilty for that as well. If listening is love, how often are we really loving people? And it's one of the rarest forms of kindness left in this world. Think about the last time somebody really heard you. No interruptions, no judgment, just space. Or better yet, when was the last time you listened to yourself? Now, let this be your self-love reminder. Hey, you. Before you dive into this week, just pause for a second, breathe. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't have to be everything for everyone. Sometimes self-love looks like listening to your body, your heart, your own quiet voice that says, I need a minute. Lately, I realized that real strength isn't how loud we speak or how much we can accomplish. It's in how softly we listen. Because listening itself is love. It's freeing, it's healing, and it's something we all crave. So today, I want you to practice kindness on purpose, not just towards others, but towards yourself. Listen when your body says rest. Listen when your spirit says, not today. Listen when God whispers, slow down. You don't need to have the answers, you just need to make room for peace. And the more that I think about it, the more I see how faith ties into all of this. Because even the Bible reminds us that sometimes love looks like listening. Galatians 6:2 says, carry each other's burden. And in this way, you fulfill the law of Christ. Sometimes that means holding space for others, and sometimes it means holding space for you. So take a deep breath, clench your shoulders, soften your heart, and give yourself permission to be human. Tired, healing, growing, and still worthy of love. Remember, you can be soft and still strong. You can be kind and still firm. You can be in progress and still proud. This week, choose kindness on purpose, starting with yourself. And then let it spill out onto everybody around you. Compliment somebody and mean it. Smile instead of looking away. Hug your loved ones tighter. Text that friend you've been meaning to check up on. Tell your people you love them out loud. If you see someone struggling, help them. And don't be nosy like me. If someone's behind you in line, let them go first. Send that encouraging message that you never sent. Be the person who listens, who remembers, who chooses softness even when life feels hard. Because life is hard. And like Mercedes said, life is hard in these streets.
It really is.
Because people might forget your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Keep showing up. I showed up sick. And if you guys made it this far, I applaud you for listening to my disgusting voice for probably a good 15 minutes. Because that's showing up in itself. But I'll be here, same time, same place, still showing up. Bye now. And don't forget to share your mom stories.